I was, stealing cars. I was breaking in stores and robbing people, things like that.
I got into a fight with a group of guys.
I had caught an armed robbery.
I was nervous. I didn't know if I was gonna be in jail or not.
When a youth is charged with a crime in Milwaukee County, the legal process is very different than it is for an adult. For a family that finds itself in the Division of Youth and Family Services, knowing how the youth justice process works can make the whole experience easier to manage. In the last chapter, we discussed the youth justice court proceedings and the people involved in those proceedings, including the judge, the district attorney, the defense attorney, the defendant, and the human service worker. Once all aspects of the case have been presented and all sides heard, the judge will consider all the information brought forward to render a decision on the future of the youth. That decision is called a disposition.
A disposition in a case is like a sentence in an adult case. We do not want to take a cookie-cutter approach to these children. We want to make sure we know everything about them, their strengths, their weaknesses, so that we can support them as they walk out the door.
Finding the right way forward for the youth and their family is why it is so important to have a good relationship with your human service worker. The judge's decision can rely heavily on the human service worker's recommendation.
The parents and the youth can expect me to be open and honest, especially concerning my recommendations. It's important that you know what I'll be recommending in court and why. In order for that case plan to be specifically geared towards the youth and really provide the youth with support and assistance, the information provided needs to be honest.
There are several options available for disposition, and it is the job of everyone in the Division of Youth and Family Services to make sure each youth that comes through the youth justice system has a custom-made plan in place that both supports the youth's success in life and ensures the youth doesn't come back into the system again.
We look at a variety of issues. What are their risk factors? Do they have alcohol and drug treatment needs? Do they have a supportive family? Do they have other relationships that support them? So those are sort of the ingredients that everyone is trying to bring to the court so that we can come up with a good plan once that child leaves the courtroom.
When kids come into the court system with their families, it's usually under the situation of knowing that they're in trouble. And so what Wraparound Milwaukee Services and Support offers is a way of looking at that differently, that perhaps what really brought children and families into the court system is that there's a unrecognized, undiagnosed, or untreated mental health issue, behavioral health issue.
For youth who struggle with alcohol or drug problems or other mental or behavioral health issues, Wraparound Milwaukee is available to help get those issues resolved.
We create a supportive team first and foremost that the family feels they can depend on. And then if there are services that are put in place, it might be a crisis stabilizer if there's some crisis situations we have to attend to. It might be someone who mentors them. It might be someone who is going to work through past trauma. The ultimate goal is to always try to keep the child and family together if at all possible.
The Milwaukee County Division of Youth and Family Services also partners with many community organizations to support youth and their families. One such organization is Running Rebels.
We definitely have a focus on engaging with youth, doing preventative work with youth, and looking at transitional work with youth. The focus has always been to provide alternative activities and things for young people as opposed to the negatives out there in our community.
There are many ways Running Rebels educates, trains, and develops young people in Milwaukee County. Two of their programs are geared toward youth that are involved with the Division of Youth and Family Services. The first, called the Milwaukee County Accountability Program, or MCAP, works with youth who are in detention through counseling and mentoring, and then continues to work with them once they have been released. The second is called the Intensive Monitoring Program and is geared toward youth who are under court order but in the community. These youth are also paired with an advocate who helps develop the youth's character while also following the court-ordered conditions.
We're here first and foremost to help you. We're not a aha, we got you, organization. As the term advocate, we're here to advocate for you in school, in the community, in the courts, and in our program, and any area in your life to help you be successful.
It's important to remember that every case in the youth justice system is different. The Milwaukee County Division of Youth and Family Services encourages you to work with your attorney, the district attorney, the judge, and your human service worker to find the best way forward for you and your family.